Good morning to everyone. Go ahead and call the meeting to order. It's a regular session of the Trinity County Commissioners Court. Today is Monday, October 26, 2015. It's a little after 9 a.m. The meeting in Trinity County Commissioners Court, room 162 West 1st Street, Trinity County Courthouse, Groveton, Texas 75845. And I appreciate y'all bearing the elements and coming out and seeing how county government operates. And at this time, I'd ask Brother Matt Sherrock of First Baptist Church, Groveton, to come forward and open the meeting with a word of prayer.
Let's pray. Well, God, we come to you right now. We just pray for all those who've been affected by this hurricane that's hit Mexico. God, we just pray that you just look after people and just help them to get back in their place and get situated once again. But God, also at the same time, we just thank you for the rain. God, I just pray that you be with everybody in this room today as we make decisions and just get ready to help the people in the county and just carry out your business, God. And I just pray that you just give us wisdom, guidance, and direction as we discuss what we're about to do. So God, just bless this time and just look after us. It's in your name we pray.
Amen. Before y'all take your seat, you join me in saluting our flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Oh, yes, right behind there. Appreciate it. I'll put it up here. Make the microphone squawk. Next order of business is a public forum. I have one public participation forum from Mr. William Bond. Hey, Bill. Morning, Mr. Bond. How are you?
Fine, you sir.
I'm doing good.
I wanted to address some items in the agenda. Item 14 deals with the transferring of arrangement of finance from one department to another. My question is, how is it going to benefit the taxpayer? Item 15 discusses is a interlocal agreement between the city of Groveton and the county sheriff's office. What is the agreement and how does it benefit the city and the county? Items 16 and 17 I want to join together because both of those deal with the interlocal cooperation between two different counties and the sheriff. Those two items with 5 additional words. If anybody knows anything about the problems the sheriff faces day in and day out, explain clearly the whole problem. He doesn't help us face. So that I really appreciate because it did provide us with the information we needed. I just request that the agenda provides sufficient information to allow those interested to make decisions with respect to support or opposition. Once a public forum closes, citizen observers cannot question or comment without violating the decorum of this court.
Mr. Bond, may I ask, so you don't have a problem with items 16 and 17?
No, sir, I follow those items because they clearly define what those two agreements are about.
Correct.
But the others do not really define or the other one does not really define what that agreement is.
So you'd like to see more wording on the agenda?
Yes, sir. More information so that people can
Knowing what the items are?
know what
In
the items
full.
are.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bond. Anybody else in public forum wish to speak in the public forum? If not, we'll move on to the next item of business, which is approval of minutes of the October 13th, 2015 regular session.
Motion to approve. Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Worthing, second by Commissioner Smith to approve. Any discussion on the minutes? Not, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Let me say I appreciate you putting on that. Thank you. While they're signing off on that, our next two items, discuss an act on official bonds and discuss an act on pauper funeral payments. We have none of either, so we'll pass over those.
On the pauper funeral, the ones that we done in last fiscal year that we had talked about and going, I don't know, look into, did they all get settled? Or?
Yes, as far as I know, I can double check them, I'm pretty sure they did. Dan, did you know that off the top of your head? We had any outstanding pauper funeral payments from last fiscal year? Okay, good. That next item too, Mr. Brandon Wood, Executive Director of the State Jail Commission, I don't think he's gonna be here till this afternoon. We're gonna bump that out. I think the sheriff's already talked with everyone about it, about 2 o'clock. Is that correct? So, cool.
We need a vote to get
I'm sorry?
there. We need a vote.
He might do it.
We're supposed to be back in the meeting at 2 o'clock. Right. He was walking up and down the hall a while ago, I didn't know if he talked, I know he talked to Buster. When in your office, I guess he missed you. He said, I think, Chairman, you tell me you couldn't make it, or?
Yeah, I got that, my wife was up here.
The clerk said she's got, have you got somebody that can?
Well, we're programming machines, so I have to show her how to program the machines. I have to lock my front door and sing, they don't know how to let
It's not an action item. I think this Executive Director just wants to come and give a presentation to the court, let us know kind of where we stand with our jail and what we need to look at in the future.
Does that need to be recorded, Mr. Bell? The record, the presentation?
Doesn't need to be recorded when you're, somebody can bring a recorder over in the office. Take a report. We'll still be in session, though, what you said. Yeah, we'll still be in session.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. All right, the next item of business is discuss an act on approval of claims and invoices.
Good morning, gentlemen. That's it.
Morning, Dan.
All those that are in front of you are what I'm putting up to be paid for this go around. I didn't. Any questions or concerns? Changes?
Is this where I need to bring up my?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
On September the 30th, we have Harbor Freight. Since my department does all their own mechanic work, I've never had nothing carried to the shop unless it's under warranty. They don't have nothing to work with. We were out of tools. I went to Harbor Freight. I bought some tools to work with. I paid $2,200 for all kinds of different tools. And the next day, the auditor's office came to my shop to do an inventory. And while they were there, I gave the receipt to, what's her name?
Deanna?
Deanna. And the next week, I get a memo down at the treasurer's office that they would pay me for the $1,800 worth of tools, but they wouldn't pay me for my taxes. All I want is what I paid out of my pocket. It's county stuff. We don't have an account set up with Harbor Freight, and I'm requesting them to set one up with them, so this don't come up anymore. But I spent $2,200. That's what I want back. Danny says that they won't pay me my taxes. Well, that's bull, because when we go to conferences, some motels charge us for taxes and some don't. And the county has to pay that. So I told them I'd bring it up here to court. What's the verdict, Mr. Bale? What's the reason you get paid the big bucks?
I think we can reimburse him for the taxes because he spent them. What we need to do is tell Harbor Freight to reimburse the taxes.
And set us up an account.
Yeah, well,
A tax exempt account.
Harbor Freight's lucky, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We put up the account.
And the reason that it was done on the 30th is we save all year long in our budget. And then at the end of the year, if I have any money left over, that's what I did with it, is went and bought them some tools to work with. So I mean, looking back on it, I probably should have got with the auditor's office and had them set us up an account.
I just bring you a tax exempt receipt with the form I use for that. sales
Tax ID number.
Yeah, tax ID.
But all I want is what I paid. And I think it's only right. So you're saying for them to go ahead and pay me and then contact Harbor Freight and file
Tax ID number with them, saying that you just didn't bring it with you. See if they reimburse us.
you have any problem with that, Danny? Okay.
They should reimburse us if we show them if we were.
Right.
And I do want an account set up with them so that this don't come up anymore and we can buy stuff from them.
Well, my suggestion is for any of you gentlemen that want to go out and purchase something, if we don't have something set up, give me the information before you do it, so I can get everything in line before you go out and do it. That way there's no questions on homes and floors anywhere across the board. That's all I ask.
Okay.
Neil, regarding the motel taxes, my experience with that is that they don't charge us for state tax, which we know counties don't pay, but they do have some local taxes that we're not exempt from, so that's why you see sometimes on motel rooms, it'll be the local taxes that we're paying, not the state tax.
Yeah, but I can charge both state and local on mine.
Pardon?
I can charge both state and local on mine. It's empty, both state and local on mine. It's just however they want to do it in their office.
I think this issue came up the first or second conference that I ever went to, and I remember Sheila bringing it up, that the final deal was we had to pay it.
Yes. If they insist on it, we have to pay it.
If you give them our tax exempt number, they typically would charge you state tax.
The last time I rented a car on a county trip, I gave them my tax exempt number and I said, that's not the right number. That's only on sales tax, not on motor vehicle rental tax. You have to have a separate number for that. Okay, never mind.
All right.
This is going to be a part of 8, Mr. Smith's request here. It's going to be a part of his claims and invoices.
Can it be funneled into claims and invoices also? This is a purchasing.
Oh, no, this is reimbursement item. You can put it in there, basically reimbursement item.
Well, it don't have to be.
And you can put it in there.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve this. Second.
All right. Have a motion motion from Commissioner Worsham, second from Commissioner Brown, approve claims and invoices. Any more discussion?
I can't hardly see this, but about the fourth item down, looks like Tony Sims or something like that. What is that for? Oh, okay.
There's no more discussion. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. It's all right with the court. I think Miss Lynette, her helper come in the back when they're here recognizing November as National Home Care Month. That's item 20. If it's all right with the court, we'll bump that up. We won't keep y'all here all day.
Okay, thank you.
I won't stay here all day. That's the out.
Sit here and watch the antics in the courtroom.
Did the newspaper make it?
Yeah, he's right there.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, hang on just a second, let me see. This is item 20, like I said on the agenda, discuss and act on resolution recognizing November as National Home Care Month. And I have a resolution that I can read if everybody wishes. All right. We appreciate what y'all do for residents of the county and all the home health care organizations in the county. But this is, like I said, 2015 Home Care Month proclamation. Whereas home care services provide high quality and compassionate health care services to those in need, especially at times of community or personal health care crisis. Whereas home care is the most preferred method of health care delivery among disabled, elderly, and chronically ill individuals eager to live independently in their own homes as long as they possibly can. Whereas home care services allows families to stay together and provide for greater health, dignity, and comfort in our communities. And whereas home care in the United States is a growing alternative to hospitalization or other institution-based forms of health care for acute and chronic illnesses, providing care to millions of Americans each year. And whereas thousands of everyday heroes such as home care nurses, therapists, and aides work tirelessly to provide professional health and palliative care and support to millions of Americans in need of quality health care services. And whereas these dedicated home care professionals and volunteers form a support network that continues to play a vital role in health care delivery for our nation's disabled, infirm, and aging population. Whereas Right Choice Home Health, the National Association for Home Care and Hospice, and thousands of home care agencies across the United States have declared November 2015 as National Home Care Month and are calling on all Americans to observe these occasions with appropriate ceremonies and activities. Therefore, be it resolved that we, Trinity County Commissioners Court, do hereby proclaim November 2015 as National Home Care Month in Trinity County, Texas, and encourage the support and participation of all citizens in learning more about the home care and hospice concepts of care for the elderly, disabled, and infirm.
And if I could just add to that, for 2016, home care is moving to value-based purchasing, which I fully agree with. It's going to cut down on even more fraud in the Medicare program. But basically, home health agencies will be getting paid for the outcomes of your patients. Next year, we'll be adding to the proclamation that in addition to supporting independence and dignity of the elderly, the goal of our program is focused on preventing hospitalization and nursing home placement, because it is cheaper for our country to maintain our elderly citizens in their homes rather than those institutions and facilities.
Right, very good. We appreciate, like I said earlier, appreciate all y'all do for the folks in the community,
Yes.
along with the other home health care agencies here in the community. Entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Worsham, seconded by Commissioner Brown to approve the proclamation. Shows a civil resolution on the agenda. Oh,
Same thing, we saw the.
One and the same. All right, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, hearing none, motion passes. That would be a photo op. Get y'all on your way.
There you go, that's a good look. Come on, Shaq. Got to improve this boat.
Everybody's in it that wants to be in it.
You can tell she ain't got no phone.
It's not my turn to run, you know.
All right. That's great.
Good deal. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, ma'am. You want
Yes,
to
sir.
run across the hall and make a copy for my device? All right. All right. Moving back up to item 9, getting back in regular order of the agenda, discuss an act on declaring items as surplus and/or salvage for Road and Bridge Precinct 3.
Judges, as I was telling you, the auditor came and audited all my stuff. And this is all the old radios and radio systems that were put in back in the, I believe, the 80s, mid-80s. This has never been used, it's on inventory, it's in boxes up on the top of the barn, and I'd like to donate it to whoever wants it or carry it to the auditor's office, and they do what they want to with it. We just need to get it off of our inventory. Treasurer wants it?
Yeah, I want it.
In your office? Obsolete radio?
Obsolete radio.
I'll open up a radio museum and all that. I'd just like to get it off of inventory.
Make that the form of a motion?
Yes, sir. So moved.
You want that water grader too?
Yes.
You want the water grader?
Yeah, it doesn't even have to run.
The motor grader that's on there is the one that we sold to City of Trinity.
That's wrong. I don't know.
No, no, yeah, it sure is. It sure is wrong. That was a 88. 2003, we're still using it.
You got another 30 years in it.
Well, hopefully 10. So I'll make a motion to approve 1618 to 3596. Not the grader.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Have a motion by Commissioner Smith, seconded by Commissioner Chamberlain, to approve the items recognized, all radio equipment excluding the motor grader.
Yes.
Okay. Any more discussion or any discussion? Not all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. All right, next item of business is discuss an act on approval of purchase of Adobe Acrobat Writer to comply with the Texas 12th Court of Appeals. Ms. Kristen, the floor is yours.
Thank you. This is a very unforeseen expense. I don't know if you're going to come across it or not. Everything that we've sent in for appeal in the last 2 months, which has been, I think, 3 things, they've rejected. The 12th Court of Appeals, if somebody wants to overturn their ruling and wants to go to appeals court, they're sending it back because we don't have the proper software and it's not bookmarked the way they want it. We got, Kathy convinced them to overlook the first few things and accept them anyway because we didn't have the money and it's just, the budget was already done. But now they're rejecting everything and it's gonna cause a whole county problem if we don't do something about it. We don't know exactly how much it costs because I can't seem to get a solid answer from them. All I know is it's somewhere between $150 and $500 because the county didn't have a credit card. I
A
can
year?
Huh?
A year?
No, it's just
One time.
one time. And anybody can use it. I mean, anybody.
So it costs how much?
Either, it's somewhere between $150 and $500. But I don't know the exact amount yet because I haven't gotten back from Tommy Sims to tell me for sure which one I need. So I don't know.
Just a computer software upgrade.
Yeah.
You should have a motion to approve it.
Yes, sir.
I make a motion to approve that, that's the cheapest thing we've had.
And like she said, it can be used by her, you know, if Shasta needs it in her office, we can.
Well, when we buy one, we have to have a certain number of users.
Well, the Pro, I think, has three to five users on it. So
Okay.
she would be able to use it too if it comes up in her office. I don't, do y'all have kids?
You know, we have appeals go for Cook County Court as well. They just rarely handle it.
Yeah.
But I've had a,
Well, we've had a few of them like
Do you have room in your budget?
Well-
Office supplies or?
I can, there's a line item called software, hardware repair or something, it's 10431 something, it's the same one that we pay Tony Sims out of. It's got $4,000 something out of it. I can put it in one of my line items for records management or for microfilming or something. Yeah, archives, because, yeah, we're not using that much anymore. So, just wherever it's okay.
Okay. All right, have a motion by Commissioner Smith, second by Commissioner Brown, to look at purchasing this, or approval of purchases software program in the district clerk's office. Any discussion? Not all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you, Christian. Next item of business is discuss and act on approval of receipt file listing, specified activity report, and payroll register. Mr. Dobbins, the floor is yours.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
The reports that we're talking about, your lead sheet may be the payroll for September.
Yes.
Should have a specified activity report with it, and also the receipt file listing. Got it?
I think everybody's got it.
Okay. The first thing is in September on the,
Oh, they're all in there together?
yeah, I think they're all stapled together, Commissioner.
Okay.
The first report, I think, is on your list is the payroll. We had the 3 payrolls in the month of September. So we'll be asking y'all to approve those if you'd like to look over or have any questions. I'll give you just a second.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I think, excuse me, Commissioner, I think y'all approve all of them at one time.
Yes.
Just giving you the opportunity to look at them. Are ready to move to the next item? We have the specified activity report, receipt file listing. Which one is next on your list? After the
Receipt file listing.
receipt file listing?
Yes, sir.
Would like for y'all to look at that just a second. Just want to point out a couple of things on it. You see the receipt from the first item. Our total shows that we received $981,216 for the month. The first item on there is $318,000. That's actually the sale of those 3 trucks, those truck tractors. So that's not really income because we turn around and lease some more.
Washed out.
It just washed out, it did, but that's the booking on it, and it's correct. That's the way it's supposed to be reported. Down towards the bottom, 5 or 6 up, you see a Texas controller for $494,000. That $494,000 is mostly grants, so that's not really income to the county. Okay? So what I'm telling you is the $981,000 is more like $168,000 of real money. Okay? So we need to get Lindy cranking up and get us back in a good swing. Just want to call that to your attention so that if you look at this, you won't think we got almost $1 million in revenue this year.
Bob, right there where it says, jury donation.
Yes, sir.
What's that thing?
What we do when we have, my terminology may not be correct, but we have grand juries and we have pettit juries. I think they call them grand and pettit. And then we have other juries where people serve on trials. They get paid, for example, the day that the jurors show up, they get $6 for showing up, whether they're selected or not. If they're selected and there's a trial, then they get $40 a day. Some of those jurors, when they come in to get their money, we have a form and they can donate that money to the county rather than taking it. Most of that comes from the $6 when you have a group of people over there, and in particular if they're in the annex and it's raining, they're not going to come across the street and get that $6. So, but some of them do donate it, and they can donate. There's different choices. They can donate it to the Kalen Center or a couple of other items. So that's just jury money that people did not take that they donated back.
Okay.
Any more questions on the receipt file listing?
I have none.
The next report in this group is the specified activity report. That report lists all of our bank balances and the amount of money that we have in each one of those funds. And of course, the top item is the general fund. But y'all look over that, see if you have any questions. Of course, down a little bit from there, you can see the road and bridge funds. Those are really the 2 major items that we look at, is the general fund and the road and bridge fund. So y'all can see where y'all's cash balances were as of September 30th.
That's still a note with some bills got to come out of that. I mean, that's where it was September 30th, but we will have some, be a period. The cash is the cash. The bills that come in the month of October for accounting purposes, and y'all would want them that way, if they're applicable to September, we put them back in the month of September so they're reflected as a September expense, even though they won't come out of cash until October. Because we pay them in October, but we book them back in as a September expense.
County attorney, I need to get order from treasurer.
Which one are you talking about?
County attorney. 17,110,200.
About 8 lines from the top.
It's coming in 2,000.
Oh, on the wrong. I'm sorry, Mr. Bell, what are you saying about that?
I'm not sure that's correct. I want to see you and all of y'all make sure it's correct.
Okay.
You open it,
No, because I'm expecting to be more.
So you'll address the auditor about that?
But you're going to get some check from the state, you need to verify the check, and the state can use that. And then we'll probably go in the office about that. Okay?
Okay. Any more questions on the specified activity report? Did I answer your question?
Yes, I mean, I got mentioned a month or two ago, is sometime or another, and we've never done this before, and it's a good place to start, is to just kind of know, whenever all the dust settles, chips will lay where they lay, how much extra money we had, if we was under budget, or how much cash we had. I know this is not, we can't use this number because there's a lot more bills coming in.
Right. I would think,
Together,
I'm glad to do it.
this is good.
I might mention that I'm gonna have on the next Commissioners Court with Commissioners Court approval or the judge's approval. I want to have an agenda item where I can expand my reporting to Commissioners Court. We can look at the budget and we can see how much we've used of the budget, but there's also an item that's as important to me as that, with my background, it's called cash flow. And cash flow is probably as important as anything else that we get. So I want to start moving into providing some additional reports, but I need y'all's permission to do that because it will overlap with some budgeting items, and I certainly don't want to step on anybody's toes on the budgeting, and I'm not trying to take that over at all. I just think with the court, the more financial information you have that we can provide to you, the better decisions you'll be able to make moving down the road. So we'll take that into consideration too, and maybe come back and show that cash balance, maybe coordinate with the auditor and show that cash balance, and then the bills that came in that would have been deducted from that to show you what your real available cash is going forward.
It's most important in the road and bridge because we have so many unexpected culvert we need to buy, an expensive culvert, or maybe an engine repair. Or do we need to wait 60 days to do that? I mean, if it's not an emergency situation, so it helps to, that cash flow helps to know, helps to, for us in our planning a little bit.
Right. Well, what I also want to cover on that agenda item that I'm going to put on there with your permission, I think there's been some misconceptions about how some of these funds work, and then I want to be able, with that, I can sit down and explain to y'all how those funds work and maybe alleviate some of these problems about having to do the year-end expenditures on the last day and how that works. And then certainly I want to address the Commissioners Court about setting up some sort of protocol on, I'm getting off into this, but set up some protocol on how to handle these last day of the month purchases and explain to you a little bit more about how those funds work. But I want that on the agenda item, and then I'm going to request y'all's permission to be able to do that. So,
We had talked about showing the debt levels to each monthly report. Can you add that to your list of things?
that's on an item we're going to address. I believe it is item 14. So if we could put that off there, till there, I do want to address that, and I want to do that. I just need more information before I can do it. I don't have access to all the information I need to be able to prepare that for you.
That courthouse preservation, 40,000, 48.22. Is that money still left before they remodeled this courthouse?
That's my understanding. That is correct.
So how long do we have to use that? I mean,
Well, I think we got some leaks right back here, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
So I don't know what the legal restrictions are on
I
that
don't know what I'm
account.
talking about here.
That if there's no legal restrictions, that's the question I have, would be the legal restrictions.
last year at this time, we had $450-something thousand left in it. And
I believe a big portion of that was paid down on the debt. though.
That's right.
Yeah.
You brought it for the court, but I was for paying it down. But I thought that it was my understanding that we was gonna put it all towards the note after we got whatever done that we was gonna do.
I think we agreed to leave a little in there for the recurring
Yeah.
incidents.
So
That would be my recommendation, because it don't, having that there, it don't tap into the county coffers, if you would.
I think we need, as long as we're able, the state don't say.
Penalize us for it.
Yeah, I think we need to keep, I don't know if we need to keep 40,000, but we need to, these things that come up.
I just didn't know how long you could,
I can research it and see how long we keep it, make sure we don't get penalized for keeping it.
I mean, you buy a new truck, drive it off the lot, and you know, it's only under warranty for 5,000 miles, so I'm just wondering if, how long this is gonna be good for. I don't want us to get penalized and lose it.
Yeah, I can research it. So. Well, I had a question about, do we get charged a fee for each of these accounts we have at the bank?
No.
Okay.
No, sir, we do not.
The reason I asked was like that restitution for JP3, is there a reason for keeping that? And the search grant, it's gone away, is there a reason for holding that account? Or-
Not that, it's more of a legal issue than anything else. And no, sir, the Citizen State Bank does not charge us any money, any
Okay,
fees for maintenance of any of these accounts,
okay.
which I think is great. Any of those other funds that you have a question about, I'll be glad to work with anybody on trying to find out what our legal obligations are before we just go to closing down an account.
Yeah.
Of course, as the Commissioners Court, y'all do pretty much whatever you want to do. Y'all are the controlling body. But now's a good time to go through there and see what we have, and see what we can clean up.
Yeah.
You will not hurt my feelings if y'all want to shut a few of these bank accounts down. Okay.
I just appreciate you bringing it to us, Bob, where we can see it every month.
If the court's in agreement, I can get with you, and like our next court date, we can review that. And
Review some
and
of
see
those.
what of those counts has not had any activity for an extended period of time, and maybe look at doing away with it, and bring that back to the court next meeting.
That sounds good to me. I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Oh, I think now, if there's not any more questions on this, I think that we're ready.
Bill Chamberlain made the motion, I'll second it.
Oh, okay.
That motion by Commissioner Chamberlain, second by Commissioner Smith, to approve receipt file listing, specified activity report, and payroll register. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. All right, our next item of business.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, sir, thank you. Next item of business is discuss and act on approval of the reports for the month of September 2015 of the Justices of the Peace, County Extension Agent, Constables, County Clerk, District Clerk, County Attorney, Sheriff, Tax Assessor, Community Center, and the Veterans Service Officer. Through those right quick.
Just by way of comment, all of the reports are in for the month of September. So,
Good. First one is District Clerk, for the total amount of $11,435.52. Tax Office, we're starting to get some tax money in. They show a total balance of $60,694.52. JP3, $7,109.73. JP1, $4,525.97. JP2, $3,249.30. County Clerk, $19,416.55. JP4, $4,307.50. County attorney, ending balance of $5,859.10. Green County Sheriff, total collected $3,165. Community Center shows a balance of $1,445.54. That's all I got there. I have, 12. On the constables. The activity report for constables on precinct 4, Reggie Olive. We've actually got some fees collected, $582.90. And I have an activity report on Mark Cole. That's all the monthlies I have.
Judge, did you ever get with the constables to see about getting a standard?
A unified. Those are have not, yeah.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay. A motion by Commissioner Smith, second by Commissioner Chamberlain to approve the monthlies that have been recognized. Any discussion? Not all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Now we have a signing party.
To bring refreshments.
Yes, sir. Two sheets of that. There's Jenny.
Two sheets.
Really? Okay, be careful.
Oh, God.
He didn't say.
But they said it was coming from, on 94, from over this way.
Leave it up to him to stir the pot.
Some Groton boys over there.
Yeah.
I checked my gauge last night, I went to bed, it had about 4 2/10 in it.
Boy, it feels just right. I mean,
Yeah.
couldn't control it any better. You gonna live the farm thing today?
I'm good with it, sure. I got a
I've had a
pile,
lot of people ask that.
I got a pile I need to burn myself.
Rescind the burn down?
I haven't yet, but I was planning on it. That's gonna get John's blessing before I make a command decision.
Lot of pent-up demand.
Lift the burn ban, it's gonna look like Indians are on the warpath, there's gonna be smoke everywhere.
Lift the farm thing.
We're going to, yes, sir. Let's take about a 10-minute recess, we'll come back somewhere around 10:05.
We might not want to get together, see you now, I guess the man can deal with this system and then share it with everybody else on here.
I can double check on that.